How do I know that my adventure is good enough for my players? I feel like I'm not creative and want to create an adventure and maybe find a villain for the campaign. I mean, dude, there's no way to know if it's good enough. And how do you define good enough? I've made plenty of adventures that I think in retrospect probably weren't that good. But when I made them, I thought they were good. It was only after I had a group play through them where I was like, crap. That adventure wasn't designed very well because of X, Y, and Z. I could have done better there. Ugh. I'll have to remember that for next time. But when I made the adventure, I was excited. I thought it was cool. I thought my players would like it. And my players did enjoy it. They did have fun. But I didn't see the flaws in the adventure until after I played it. Because you just have tunnel vision. You don't see all those things. You don't have the benefit of the, So how does anybody really know in advance if an adventure is good enough? If it could be better or where its flaws are, and because there's always gonna be something you could have done better. So you don't know, and you never know how your players are going to interact with your adventure and what they're gonna do. So I think the whole question of is it good enough? I don't know if that's a useful question. I don't even if it's not good enough, what are you gonna do? Like you can't tell if it's good enough or not. You just can't tell. There's no useful gauge to measure that by, and then so it's not a productive question. It's probably not worth worrying about. I think a more productive way to approach it is probably going to be, hey, I made an adventure. Cool. Let's go play the adventure. And then keep your eyes open. See what happens. See what your players do. See if there are any problems with the adventure. Afterwards, maybe ask them, hey, what do you think could have been improved about that adventure? Were there any things that felt missing, or were there any things that could have been done better? Get some feedback from them. You usually have a gut feel too about things that worked and things that didn't work. Well, use that. So use feedback from your players, use feedback from yourself and your own observations to use that information and make the next adventure a little bit better. Just a little bit. We're not talking about becoming a professional, amazing dungeon master in a few game sessions. We're talking about continual improvement, little bit by little bit, that is slowly going to take you from being an okay, maybe dungeon master to a decent dungeon master, to a good dungeon master, to an excellent dungeon master, to an outstanding, that's the idea. You want to get improvement little by little by little. So don't sweat it if you don't feel that it's good enough now. Run it anyway, play it anyway, do something you think is fun, and then just try to get better each time. I think that is a much more productive and effective route for you to go along than trying to worry and fret over an individual adventure and whether it's good enough or not. It might not be, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Play the game and you'll get better. Just make sure you have to keep the idea of continual improvement in your mind. And just try to make it a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And if you keep trying to make yourself a little bit better each time, it's going to get better and you're going to get better and you win. But if you worry too much about an individual adventure, you're going to get bogged down, you're going to get anxious and worried, and you're going to just be like, "Rah!" And then nothing productive happens there. Nothing good comes of that. You just get frustrated and you might quit. Who knows? So I wouldn't go there. It's not a good mental space to take yourself to. It's better to accept that you're not perfect and your things are probably going to need work, and then just to keep trying to work on making them better. That's far more productive than the alternative.
By the way, are you coming to LairCon 2022? I'll be there, and so will several of my DM Lair team members. This year, LairCon takes place in Pensacola, Florida on October 7th, 8th, and 9th. We'll have D&D games, other RPG and tabletop games, workshops, and panels. Come hang out with me and my crew, and maybe even play in a game of D&D with us. You can learn more and purchase passes at the link below.